Hey guys, welcome back and ting and ting and ting. And we're gonna stay on Bucharest kick this week here, you know what I mean? And this one kind of piqued my interest. It's called Bucharest Old Town, Romania. Things to do, places to visit, and that kind of vibe and thing, you know what I mean? And although I'm not a big connoisseur of big cities and stuff, I still want to see the. At least say I've been to Bucharest, you know what I mean? Which is one of the main cities in Romania and stuff like that. You know, when I travel, when the time come, I'll go to a big city that everybody knows just to see what the hubbub is about those cities and thing. So that's what we're going to look at. Now, before I get going with the video, someone in the comments has says, "Hey, come on, show some of the bad stuff too. Show some of the dark side. Don't just show all of the you know, travel-y stuff or where they show all the good sides and stuff." And I thought about it for a minute there, and I even pulled up a video that I was going to watch. I was going to react to, and then I thought, but if you read conventional news, if you watch conventional news, that's all they do. They always highlight the dark sides of stuff, which, in essence, manifest what people think of those people because all you see is the crime that happened there and, the rundown areas and all of that. Which, in reality, uh, the rundown areas are not as prevalent as just everyday working class people doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I decided not to. I mean, you wanna hear about the dark side and the crime and the drugs and all of that. If that's a problem in Romania, you could watch the news. You could watch outsiders coming in, going looking for the dark side of stuff. Because that's what people are into these days. I'm not into that. I want to see the good side of the humanity. Where I live here, there's a prominent drug problem. When I walk out the street, I got to see it. You know what I mean? When I'm at work, I got to see it because there's always strung out people walking around and then just causing chaos. So when I come home and I watch video, I want to see the lighter side of humanity. I want to see the places that people should know about more so than the bad ones. If they show the bad ones, they say, well, there's this area that's really good too. We should try to get it to this area. How can we get to this area? What's a resolution that we should try to come up to collectively to make it to where not everybody's gonna be rich or living like kings, but living to the point where they don't have to deal with all this craziness around them. Maybe you can't eradicate it, but the good could outweigh the bad. So this is what I'm saying. I'm gonna keep watching these videos that show the better side of humanity, so that we don't sit here thinking that it's dark everywhere. I know I'm babbling a little bit before we start here, but I think this is important to say. I'll give you an example. Most of the pictures you get of Africa is them being violent and running around and carrying on. People not realizing that Africa is a continent and there's different countries in there. And how they portray Africa to people here, when somebody say they're going to Africa, oh my God, they're going to eat you, they're going to do this, they're barbaric and all of that. When in actuality, there's parts of Africa that's quite peaceful and living just like people are living here. You know what I mean? There's affluent people, there's working class people. Like when I first came to this country, and I've told this story before, because of the portrayal of us, one of the questions I got was, do we still eat people there? And this wasn't in like 1986 I heard this. This wasn't like 1930, 1850. This is 1986 I heard this. About a couple of years ago, I had somebody ask me if we have televisions on the island because the portrayal of us is we poor, we have nothing. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to bust that for everybody else. For years, places like Romania have been portrayed as this drab, unpleasant place. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to do that to those people any more so than I like anybody to do that to me. But it does happen. And I'm not going to join that crowd. I'm going to show the parts that will make people happy, the parts that will make people proud of where they're from and stuff like that, which would probably garner an effort to make all of the places that people like me admire. Let's YouTube on some simmer and see what Old Town Bucharest look like.
Hi everybody, on this episode I visit Bucharest Old Town, which is a historical part of the capital city of Romania.
Alright.
Bucharest or Bucharest is the capital and largest city of Romania. It is described as the cultural, financial, entertainment and media center in Romania with a significant influence in Eastern and Southeastern Europe. It is also an influence in education, tourism, research, technology, healthcare, art, fashion, sports and politics in Romania. It is one of the most populated cities of European Union within city limits and the most populated capital in Southeastern Europe. It is located in the southeast of the country, on the banks of the Dambovita River, less than 60 kilometers north of the Danube River and the Bulgarian border.
Bulgaria, that's another place I'm interested in.
The biggest airport in Romania and the closest to Bucharest is Henry Coanda, also known as Otopeni International Airport, and is located in northern part of the capital in the small town of Otopeni. That's why the short name for the airport is Bucharest Otopeni. Bucharest Otopeni Airport is about 20 kilometers away from the city center, Piața Universității and Old Town area. Depending on traffic rush and transportation option, the journey will take 30-60 minutes. There are 3 ways to get from Bucharest Airport to the city. Getting a taxi or an Uber from Bucharest Airport to the city center is quick, convenient and reasonably priced between 10 to 17 euro.
I'll be honest, man, I'm loving the architecture so far. You know what I mean? This is the kind of stuff I'm interested in, you know? And they call it Old Town too, and by what I'm seeing so far, it looks like it's old as in an elegant sort of way.
There is a train connecting Otopeni Airport with Bucharest main train station, with no other stops on the way. The train runs every 40 minutes from either these stations, and you can check the schedule online. STB, Bucharest Public Transport Company, operates 2 public bus lines from Otopeni Airport to the city. 780 heading to North Train Station and 783 heading to the city center. Both of them leave from the ground floor outside the terminal building every 15-20 minutes on a regular daily schedule and every 20-30 minutes on weekends and holidays. A 2-way ticket is around €2. Bucharest was once known as Little Paris of the East because it was heavily influenced by French culture and architecture during the 19th to 20th centuries, much like the rest of Romania's middle class living in the city of those times. The Parliament of Bucharest, also called the People's House, is not only the largest building in Europe, but second largest after the Pentagon. Bucharest is also famous with many beautiful parks. Bucharest is famous for having one of the fastest internet connections in Europe. One of the other popular reasons to visit Bucharest is the prices, which are really affordable. Because of influence by French culture, when you come to Bucharest from the airport, you will most likely pass next to the Triumphal Arch. Standing out of the modern architecture, Stavropoleus Monastery Church hides inside of the old town of Bucharest. A Greek monk built it in the 13th century. Beautifully restored 19th century buildings with wide stairs like a carousel is definitely one of the most stunning bookshops I have seen. The design is very minimal and the contrast with colorful books makes it look very picturesque. There are several parks around the city center. Passagul
I've seen this
Victoriei
a
in
lot.
Bucharest Old Town boasts dozens of colorful umbrellas that transforms this otherwise gritty alleyway into one of the city's unmissable spots amongst dedicated to Instagrammers. The Linden Tree Inn is the only historic inn in Bucharest that has preserved its shape exactly as it was at its origins.
Wow.
Like many other European cities, the Old Town of Bucharest has a quite few churches. Some of them are definitely well worth a closer look. The Old Town of Bucharest is, as mentioned, pretty small. However, there's a selection of old inns hidden in the old streets. Chariciubera is the oldest brewery in the Bucharest and lies just a few steps away from the Stavropoleos Church. In fact, it's placed right in between the city's oldest bank, CEC Bank, and the church. If you find yourself in Bucharest's Old Town on a rainy day, there are plenty of things to do. For starters,
I don't know, man. I think like a city that's old and it's raining, it's a beautiful city. I don't know what it is with me on rainy days on old places, but my goodness. Of course, I like rainy days in the rainforest too, or in nature. But you know, for old cities like this, rainy days seem it's even more beautiful. Maybe because of the image in my head of how it was to live back in medieval times. It just seems darker. Uh, Maybe because there wasn't any like electricity or anything, but I think rainy days in places like this is just absolutely stunning. That's just me. But then I tend to find beauty in almost anything there is, you know what I'm saying?
try checking out one of the many museums there. The National Museum of Romania History is located right across from the National Bank of the capital. Cartouche the Carousel has been pictured all over Instagram at the latest years or so and has been said to be one of the most beautiful bookshops in the world. Located in the Old Town, it's a place not to miss out on when you are visiting Bucharest. The Macca Villa Croce Passage, also located in the Old Bucharest, right next to the National Bank.
Ooh.
The passage is not just a normal passage, but can be described as fork-shaped. The CEC Palace is the short for Casa de Economici Consemnațiuni, House of Savings and Consignments, and is the headquarters of the CEC Bank. The beautiful building in French Renaissance style is one not to miss when strolling the streets of Bucharest.
What else to do,
From
baby?
Bucharest, there are
Ooh.
daily tour packages depending on your budget as
Ooh.
group or private tours. Tour packages mostly include visiting Peleș Castle, Brag Castle, and Brașov Old Town. It takes 12 hours. Group tours starts from €35, excluding entrance fees and lunch, and private ones are around €250-30, including entrance fees and lunch. Also, you can visit one of the biggest thermal spa complex in Europe called Terme Bucuresti, which is 20 kilometers away from Bucharest. The Terme is a wellness and relaxation complex with its 10 pools, indoor and outdoor, 6 dry saunas, 4 wet saunas, 16 water slides, pool bars, cafes, restaurants, and more. Terme Bucharest is the largest terme in Europe, with an indoor capacity of 4,000 visitors simultaneously. Moreover, with over 880,000 plants, on a total area of 18,000 square meters, Terme Bucuresti has the largest indoor and outdoor botanical garden in Romania.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Weather in Bucharest is generally warm and pleasant. Like the rest of Romania, the climate is temperate continental and all 4 seasons are still present. The best times to visit are during spring between March and June, and autumn between September and October, with average of 15-25 Celsius, just perfect to enjoy the city. July and August can get pretty hot with 34-38 Celsius. Winters are generally frosty around 0 degrees, and the amount of snow varies from none to a lot, but in December, the city is beautifully decorated for Christmas,
Now that's I
and
want to
there is
see.
mulled wine everywhere. Bucharest is worth visiting mainly if you want to have fun. Bucharest is one of the most lively cities in this part of Europe. Nightlife of this city is incredible, especially in the weekends. Old Town is the center of this amazing nightlife. Except this, you can find beautiful Orthodox churches, art museums, buildings, historical inns, passages, streets, and libraries to enjoy your day with photo shootings. You have plenty of reasons to visit Bucharest. It is also quite cheap in food and drinks than other European countries. So you might already have picked up on a few of the places you should definitely check out if you want to try Romanian food in Bucharest. Ciuruciubere is a must for some local beer. In addition to the normal Ursus and Chac, Ciuruciubere has a lot of other interesting brews. Definitely try out some local snacks while there too. The local street food mititei is delicious with beer. Mititei is ground beef with spices rolled up in small sausages. Manuks in the oldest still functioning inn and restaurant in...
Okay, this is definitely a touristy type video, but that's okay because, you know, I want to experience that plus the rural stuff, you know, the real people and stuff. And then what do you mean by the real people? Because it's real people walking around the big cities. You know what I mean? Their experiences, plus the experiences of the rural population is what makes the country. You understand? So yeah, that's the vibe I'm looking at here, you know? That's the vibe I'm looking at here. I want to experience both, just not one specific area of a country that I want to visit. You know what I mean? Like, I've lived in New York here in America. Now I'm living out in a rural sort of an area. You know what I mean? I've experienced Detroit, one of the biggest cities, you know? I've experienced Nashville, which is still, you know, and the cultures are kind of different from each one that I've lived. So, you know, I want to experience it all, not just, you know, one part of it, you know. I want to go to Bucharest, but then whatever other small area there is, the smaller towns, I want to experience them too.
In town. This is the place to go for a traditional Romanian evening with live music in the courtyard and delicious traditional dishes. La Mama is more economical of those places, but it has delicious traditional food and 2 locations in the old town of the city. You can try sarmale and mamaliga, minced meat rolled in cabbage leaves with polenta.
Okay, I enjoyed this year, you know what I mean? And it's good to know places to go when I hit the big city. The adventure is going to the smaller areas where you don't know where you're going and thing, but you're going to meet nice people, you know, who's going to be pleasant to you. Man, I enjoyed this. I'll leave a link in the description to this video so you could go check it out, the thing, or you could go check out more stuff in his channels. Ooh, I see one up there that says Impaler Dracula's Castle. I'm gonna have to check that out. Now, I'm probably going to be traveling with someone else, and she's interested in like the whole castle thing too. So that'll be a nice video to check out there. I hope you guys are having a great weekend so far. You know, I'm recording this on Sunday. You know what I mean? Hope you guys are having a great weekend. Listen, take care of yourselves, and turn that you'll be taking care of others. And everybody will be irie, like we see on the island. Cool runnings.